What up, watch peeps? What the dealio? The dealio today is Relio. Alright, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent here, but stick with me. You all know I'm a Seiko fanboy, but why? A lot of it has to do with the original case designs. It just happened to speak to me. They are visually interesting, like these that I call the Seiko banana cases. They're not only visually interesting, but they're very comfortable, and at the same time it minimizes how big the case wears. It's borderline genius. Why am I going on about Seiko? Besides the fact that I'm a Seiko fanboy, is that Relio has achieved something similar with their new watch. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm Pete, and we are Chillin' with Watches. Wrist check. I am wearing the Seiko King Samurai today on a fitted waffle strap that was made for the SKX, but happens to fit this thing great. These are killer value watches, sapphire ceramic, in-house, and an awesome dial. Speaking of awesome dials, let's take a look at what we have here today. This is from Relio, and this model is called the Solstice. It's available in 2 dial colors, and the one I have here is the red, and it also comes in a teal. And they are gorgeous dials. Now they list this as a 38mm watch. My measurements always come in a little under it, 37.7. And the retail price on their website is listed at $395. Let's take a closer look at this dial I'm telling you about, because it is like this, it has like this matte sunburst effect, and it's also a fume dial getting darker as you get closer to the edges. Just really pretty, really well done, plays with the light. It's fantastic. I kind of wish they maybe would have done more than just the 2 dial colors. I'm of the opinion that you need to have a couple basic bro colors in there, you know, or at least a black. I just think that would have opened these up to appealing to a broader range of people. Not everyone's going to be into the teal or the red. I dig the red, so this happens to really work for me. The hand choice is great. I'm a fan of simple, tasteful sticks or batons. Now the asymmetrical hour indices, those aren't going to be for everyone, but I think they look like little katanas. I think they're really cool. I dig it. I often think if I was going to make my own watch, I would want some different unique hour markers, and that is something that's really hard to come up with. But I really like these. I like stick markers to begin with, and these are just kind of like a fun little play on that for me. I think, again, they add a little bit of a sporty element to a watch that could otherwise maybe be too dressy. The case is a great size, and not just diameter. Thickness, it is thin. It's got a well-managed lug to lug. It's very wearable. I love the crown guards. The bezel to dial ratio is just about spot on. But the case sides are where this one shines, or doesn't, as the case may be. Get it? They're matte. Now this is the comparison I was making earlier to Seiko. This depth and texture, it's kind of Sarb-like, kind of light catcher-like, but they bead blasted this internal part, so I guess it's the opposite of the light catcher. It kind of swallows the light. Now these dress sport watches, where, like I said, they might sometimes tend to be a little too dressy for me, this is the kind of elements that you need to provide that dress sport balance. It's proportionally just about perfect. There's literally no case back droop. Just a really pretty watch that wears great. Signed crown that sits between 2 really well done crown guards. You get a display case back showing that Miyota 9039, and a great bracelet. Starts at 20mm at the lugs, tapering down to 16 at the clasp. Simple H-link. You get a simple 2-button release on the clasp. Now the internals are pressed, which doesn't bother me. I think people maybe put too much into a milled clasp, but I've never had a press clasp fail or break on me, so maybe that's why I'm less concerned. Overall, a really nice sized and proportional package. It's really good looking as well. So what do you say we throw this thing on a Timegrapher and see how it's running? I've said it a bunch of times, I never know how fair it is to judge this watch's performance based on the prototype I have in for review. But as you can see here, plus 15 seconds a day, you know, the amplitude, this isn't a new one, and it's not fully wound. That's fine, I don't have a problem there. Minimal beat error, no big deal. Pretty average performance. Going over the dimensions, we are looking at what I measure to be a 37.7 millimeter case. That is 45.7 millimeters lug to lug and only 11.7 millimeters thick. It has 20 millimeter lug width. Going over some of the other specs, we have a very slightly domed sapphire crystal. It uses BGW9 Lume and is running on a Miyota 9039 movement. And it features 100 meters of water resistance, which I consider just about perfect for the dress sport category. And on this bracelet size for my 7¼ inch wrist, it came in at 127 grams. Let's see how it wears on wrist. So here it is on my 7¼ inch wrist, and as you can see, it is a great size, super comfortable, just a stellar wear. Look how that case just really hugs to the shape of your wrist. Great wear. Let's take a look at it side by side some other watches. First up, here it is next to a 36 millimeter Explorer. Again, it's almost 2 millimeters larger, so you can see that here in the size. I do think dial to bezel proportion wise, these two are almost identical. Next up we have, here's the new Seiko Fieldy, which comes in at 39 millimeters. And again, Seiko Fieldy has this larger dial, thinner bezel, so I think it even exaggerates that kind of 1 millimeter difference in size. And of course, the Seiko is thicker. Lastly, the Seiko Alpinist. I know I use these watches all the time for these sport watch comparisons because it's all I got. Again, this one is 39, also with a larger dial opening and a thinner bezel, which again I think exaggerates. The Seiko is only about a millimeter, a little more bigger, but I think it looks like it wears slightly larger than this Relio. All right, let's take a look at that BGW9 Lume.
Peep the Lume.
BGW9 is hit or miss for me. Here I think they did a really good job. If you use enough of it, if it's thickly enough applied, you get this nice bright blue glow, which they have achieved here. Looks fantastic. Those stick markers and stick hands just look great. There you go, the Relio Solstice, a great new entry into the dress sport category and one of the best dials I've seen recently. My only hope is that they maybe open up some new dial colors in the future. All right, before I let you go, sneaker check. I'm just wearing my Anderson Paak Vans because green t-shirts need green shoelaces. All right, that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, please like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.